And welcome to the Showboys Newscast. My name is Mike.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Chad.
And I forgot our little tagline, but that's okay. Because, I was just a little...
It's not true anyways.
Yeah, you've only been doing it like 31 times now. It's easily forgettable.
Just a little distracted by the amount of Nicks in the room here. Yeah, thanks for joining us. We got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. And of course, we're going to start things off with a slew of DC news and a couple of the Batman spin-off series are in the works / in talks. So yeah, I'm excited. I saw the Batman on last Tuesday finally. It was amazing. Nothing short of a masterpiece, if I could be so bold. Had a blast watching it. Really excited about the episode this week. I think we're gonna talk about it, so that's awesome. But we got news on the Gotham City PD spinoff series that we've talked about before on past newscasts. But director Matt Reeves was kind enough to share some details on the Batman spinoff currently in the works. Once believed to focus on the GCPD, or the Gotham City Police Department, Reeves himself announced that the story has gone in a different direction. Quote, "That story has kind of evolved. We've actually now are moving more into the realm of exactly what would happen in the world of Arkham as it relates coming off of our movie. And some of the characters, again, in their origins, that you would almost leaning into the idea of it being like a horror movie or a haunted house that is Arkham. So they're shifting away from the GCPD, going to lean into the Arkham Asylum story, and from the sounds of it, we're kind of evolving into a horror series, and it sounds like a really cool concept. Not that a GCPD story wouldn't be cool, but Arkham Asylum is such a neat place in the
sure.
Batman world, and it being the home of all of Batman's insane villains. I mean, there's endless possibilities of stories you can tell. So yeah, on top of that, we got some news for the Penguin spinoff series. HBO has now given the go-ahead to the Penguin-centered series. The new series is described as a Scarface-like show and incorporates a new vision of Gotham City recently seen in the Batman. Colin Farrell, who of course played the Penguin in the movie, though he is 1000% unrecognizable. He stated, quote, "I couldn't be more excited about continuing this exploration of Oz as he rises through the darkened ranks to become the Penguin. Will be good to get him back on the streets of Gotham for a little madness and a little mayhem." Matt Reeves added, quote, "Colin exploded off the screen as the Penguin in Batman, and having the chance to thoroughly explore the inner life of that character on HBO Max is an absolute thrill." From what I've heard, this will be a limited series and will be taking place right after the conclusion of the Batman.
Interesting.
So that's really exciting. Colin Farrell in this movie killed it. Like,
really interesting,
dude. Oz is so good. There's one scene in particular that is like one of a few iconic scenes from the movie. I'm not going to talk about it because neither of you guys have seen it, correct?
I haven't, no.
No.
I thought Nick went with you guys to see it.
Nope, I was dying.
No, yeah, he was.
That's
right. He was
right.
on his deathbed. So
let's go see it, Chad.
Do it.
That might be a hopeless cause at this point, because for whatever odd reason, the boys are on spring break this week.
Hey,
which
was that last week?
But wasn't that like for Easter when we were kids? Spring break.
Yeah.
Why is it in the beginning of March or the middle of March?
That's college spring break. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe just send them down to Florida.
Yeah, it really threw a wrench, because I'm honestly, my plan was to try and go see the Batman. I was just going to go by myself, like during the day, and now obviously that's never going to happen. So, rip.
Yeah. What someday it'll happen.
Someday. I thought about trying to bootleg it, but I'd like to give him my money and see it in the theater. So
Yeah, dude, just go late at night one night and just don't sleep.
might work.
Last little bit of DC news here. We have some release dates that were pushed back, and it's sad, but I have theories. So 2022 is not immune to the movie release delays. Dwayne Johnson recently announced that Black Adam and DC League of Super Pets were delayed. This announcement was immediately followed by changes to the release dates of The Flash, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Wonka, which is not a DC movie, but in the Warner Brothers realm there, Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and Meg 2: The Trench. Because one Megalodon movie was not enough. Black Adam moves from July 29th to October 21st, so just a couple months there. DC League of Super Pets moves from May 20th to July 29th. The Flash moves from November 4th to June 23rd, 2023. So that it's a sizable delay there. Aquaman moves from December 16th to March 17th, 2023. Wonka moves from March 2023 to December 2023. Shazam: Fury of the Gods from June to December 2023. And Meg 2: The Trench has been set for August 4th, 2023. Now, I stumbled on a YouTube video that I posted in our Discord, shout out, of a guy who is theorizing why all these DC movies are being pushed back. And that is due to the merger of Warner Brothers and Discovery into, what is it, Warner Brothers Discovery or something like that? Whatever the new company is. All creative control seems to be lying in the hands of the CEO of Discovery. And as Nick and I have talked many times, he seems to like money. So
yeah, right.
We think that there is a mounting pile of evidence pointing to the restoration of the Snyderverse, which when we get to these releases being delayed and pushed back, maybe they're doing reshoots to tie in the Batfleck and some of the other parts from the Snyderverse.
Dude, I don't know. But I don't know. I think they should just let that go, especially if you're saying the Batman is as good as you're saying. Where's that fall into the?
That's already been stated as taking place on like Earth 2. So it's
the Flash fixes everything.
The Pattinson verse is in a completely different world, but has all the potential in the world to spin into its own cinematic universe, as it already is doing with these spin-off series.
I mean, it seems like they can't even keep one cinematic universe going. It's going to be difficult for them to do two at the same time. It seems like a poor choice.
I agree, but I have high hopes for this merger and somebody else being in charge that is not from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's valid.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Well, moving on to some gaming news here. Hogwarts Legacy's 20-minute special State of Play show revealed new gameplay and plot details for the upcoming Harry Potter game. Gamers will play as a fifth-year student at Hogwarts, where they'll get to experience everything from wizard duels to brewing potions. As for the story, there's a rumored goblin rebellion that players will work to investigate. And did you guys watch any of this gameplay at all?
I did.
Dude, it looks insanely good, bro. I know nothing about Harry Potter, and the reason I know nothing about Harry Potter is because I'm literally waiting for this game to come out to go and watch all the movies. But dude, I think it looks, even not knowing anything about it, I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat. Like you are legit playing as a student. So like you're going to classes and learning the techniques of spell casting and the dark arts and, like they said, brewing potions, the like I forget the name of it, but learning about the magical beasts and creatures,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man, it looks
Yeah,
sweet. And
it
then
looks
the
cool.
Goblin Rebellion story looks pretty cool too.
Definitely, and I was really impressed with the graphics on it too, and the combat almost had like a Control vibe going to it a little bit. That's what I
Makes
got the
sense.
vibe out of it. But oh man, I watched it like 2 or 3 times in a row because I was so blown away by it. And I think that might be because we talked on the show before where I was watching the quote gameplay from this game, and it was like a Harry Potter game from 2007. So I was like, man, it looks like crap. And then this one came out, I was like, holy crap, it looks amazing. So maybe it's just my opinion.
You were just
there.
watching the Switch version.
Yeah, but anybody, right. But anybody that listen, I think it's coming to Switch too.
It is.
If I read that correct.
Unfortunately.
Anybody that listens to the show knows I'm a huge fan of Persona, and a massive portion of Persona is dedicated to school life. So I'm all for it, dude. It sounds awesome.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is it sounds Persona vibes coming
Chad
out.
just wants to go back to school.
Yeah, I do, in Japan specifically. Anyway, moving on, we got a rumor here for you guys. Back to delays. Star Wars Eclipse's release date may have slipped until 2027. That's quite the delay, and it may be due to the developer, Quantic Dream, struggling to acquire talent to develop the game. As many as 60 jobs remain open as production has reportedly ground to a halt. While this is not ideal for gamers and Star Wars fans, it seems Quantic Dream may have gotten themselves into this mess as they were accused of cultivating a sexist and homophobic work environment. Can't blame anyone for not wanting to work there. While Eclipse looked promising, we'll be waiting 6 years, if not longer, to finally play it. And I have a little portion to throw in here because they actually commented on this, Quantic Dream. And you know what their response to this was? They said,
"We delayed if there's no release date."
What? They're like, yeah, we can't delay it because we never put a release date on it. I'm like, okay, fair. That's fair. I get that.
Valid point.
That they didn't come out and say, "Oh no, that's ridiculous." Which, for the record, 2027 is freaking ridiculous for any game that's already got a trailer of the trailer they put out for it.
Did they push back on any of these claims against them? They're just
they just said we can't. Yeah, we technically
not
can't.
delayed.
Yeah.
Was there even a game to have these claims for?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, dude. I remember them. They do put out very
what is reality?
Good games. Yeah, they do put out very good games, and Star Wars for them sounds like a win, but not. I didn't know anything about this sexist and homophobic until I read about the delay. Is where I heard about it, and they were having difficulty finding people to work there, which makes sense. But
so if you just kind of just say this like a really bro environment, just someone in the meeting was like, if there never was a game for these people to work on in the first place, are the claims even valid anymore? Cancel game, claims gone, easy, fixed,
simple. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for it, but
Star Wars Solar Eclipse.
Yeah. The spiritual successor of Eclipse. It's going to come out in 2035.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, we have some more or some new MCU news here, and this one's got me very, very excited. So Will Smith is stoking rumors that Jaden could star in Miles Morales. Morales exploded onto the scene by the way of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and now speculation is growing about who will play Morales in the inevitable live-action adaptation. Jaden previously posted pictures of himself wearing a Spider-Man mask, and insiders confirmed that he met with Marvel about the role. But now Will Smith has added to the speculation, stating, quote, "My son is preparing physically and mentally to get a place as one of the characters who will make history for the first time in the saga of a movie that many already know and ask for," end quote. Thoughts on the young Smith as Miles Morales? I think I'm all for it. And he did a bunch of songs for the game Miles Morales. So it seems like they got, I mean, I would imagine this is going to happen. We'll see, though.
My heart will always think of Miles Morales as Donald Glover, the Miles
Yeah,
that never was.
Well, he was never intended to play Miles. He was playing Miles's uncle in Homecoming, but he would be cool too. But Jaden,
Yeah, no, there was like a fan campaign, like
oh, okay. I was
trying
gonna
to
say
get him
because
to
he's
be
in,
Miles Morales.
yeah, he's in Homecoming as Miles's uncle.
Yeah. I'm cool with Jaden. I mean, I think he's kind of a little strange, but I mean, most
Yeah,
actors
he
are.
definitely is. Yeah,
So, yeah, let's have Miles Morales. Let's do it.
yeah.
I'm
He
here
put in
for it.
some rockin' songs for Miles Morales the game, so there's obviously
Nice.
been talks maybe after that while they were doing the songs. I don't know. We'll see.
Makes sense.
He's got my money for sure. Anyway, moving on. Just more MCU news here. Miss Marvel will arrive on Disney Plus on June 8th. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is a Pakistani American teenager who idolizes Captain Marvel. After realizing her own powers, Kamal takes on the moniker of Miss Marvel as an ode to her hero. Not much is currently known about the plot, but the first season will consist of 6 episodes. I didn't know anything about Miss Marvel until I played that Avengers game. And yeah, I liked her story in that. So this looks odd. I'll say that. The trailer was a little weird, but it does look good. What do you guys think?
I'm not a huge fan of Captain Marvel. And of all the MCU series that are announced and in the works and coming, this one is at the bottom of my list. But I
For
thought
sure,
that
yeah.
about WandaVision,
Yeah,
and
me
that one
too.
was
Yep.
amazing. So
Right.
we'll see. I love a story about like a coming of age
Yeah.
for a hero, a
Especially
superhero,
when
I
you
should
haven't
say.
seen it done before a million times, like
Right.
Spider-Man and
Yeah. And I just like imagine like how crazy would it be one day just be like, holy crap, I can fly, or like,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
right.
that would
That's
be
really what
so
her
insane.
story is. It's cool because her story is she's obsessed with a superhero already, and then she obtains powers of her own, and she's just this little Pakistani American living in like Jersey City or something
Yeah.
in the comics, I think. So it's a cool story. The casting, I don't know if I'm on board with the casting, which seems weird because it seems like she would be perfect, but I don't know if she's like a new actress. I don't know. The trailer was just kind of odd, but we'll
Hmm.
see.
Yeah. I think that's why I liked Invincible so much.
Yeah,
Is it because it's a similar thing, you know?
right.
The main character's dad is like the Superman of that world, and
Yeah,
he's just like waiting to get his powers.
right.
It's like any day now that I can be a superhero like that. Yeah, that show's insane. And the comic is even more insane. Anyways, I'll watch it. I mean, I watch all the MCU and Star Wars stuff, so I'm sure I'll probably be pleasantly surprised as well. Um, moving along, we have some more news about the older Smith here. Um, while Jaden is gearing up for a potential role as Miles Morales, his father looks to be returning in the sequel to I Am Legend. The original film was released all the way back in 2007, which, by the way, was 15 years ago. Is that crazy? So a sequel has been a
Jeez.
long time coming. Michael B. Jordan will co-star alongside Smith, the first time the pair has worked together. No director has been announced, but Akiva Goldsman, the original writer of the I Am Legend screenplay, will be returning to pen the sequel. The main cast and showrunners will all be returning for this is for the
Yeah, that's
next
mixed up.
article.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
that's mixed up.
okay, we're just gonna stop there. That kind of makes me excited. I enjoyed
Oh,
I
I
Am Legend.
loved it.
Um, I really enjoy Michael B. Jordan. Really enjoy Will Smith. Um, so this seems like a win-win-win to me.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are confused because in at the ending of I Am Legend, Will Smith dies. However, that was not the original ending for the movie. They did like a screen test, and for whatever reason, the people that watched the movie hated the ending, so they changed it and killed him off in the end. But the alternate ending, he actually escapes with the girl and the little was that a little boy, little girl that they were with. So they're either gonna go off of that ending, which I think is plausible, or do flashbacks of some sort. But dude, I love I Am Legend. It might be top 3 movies that I've seen in the theater the most. I think I saw it
Whoa.
like 6 or 7 times in the theater.
Whoa.
I just like the idea in my head of Michael B. Jordan being like the human personification of his dog.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Will
a cool idea
Smith
too, yeah.
goes into like some crazy like I Am Legend fever dream, and his dog becomes a human, and it's Michael B. Jordan. They go on adventures.
I'm here
together.
for it. I'm here for it.
Anyways, Nick, it looks like you're finally going to join us here on the newscast, bro. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I'm here. 1 of 3, part 1 of 3. Nick's in the room. Maybe the original. Maybe I'm just a variant. Who knows? Some Netflix news here. Vikings Valhalla season 2 will debut in 2023, and season 3 will start production this spring.
Dang.
I know. It just released like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Netflix originally ordered 24 episodes of Vikings Valhalla, broken up into 3 8-episode seasons. Season 1 is currently available for streaming, while Season 2 just wrapped production, set for a 2023 release. Season 3 will go into production later this spring. Vikings Valhalla chronicles the heroic adventures of some of the most famous Vikings who ever lived. Set in the 11th century, 100 plus years after the original history series concluded, with characters who speak of Ragnar Lothbrok, who was the main character in the original series, as a legendary figure of the past. The Viking people at this point have pushed beyond Scandinavia and now absorb cultures as they encounter and are changed by them. I'm really piecing together all these Vikings shows at this point. Probably worth doing like a period piece follow-up episode on it. But like there's the original Vikings series from History Channel. There is this one that Netflix has now basically picked up and is running off with it. Meantime, there's The Last Kingdom, which is also, a BBC and then a Netflix series. And that season just released.
And I think it's the final season.
Is it at the 5th and final? I think that's right.
Yeah.
But Vikings I like because it's very more mythic history, if you will, about like Ragnar Lothbrok, who's this larger than life Viking who started it all. And then The Last Kingdom is more about once they've already been in England and all the infighting as they become Christians and pagans and all that stuff. And there's some overlap with characters, and it's really interesting to piece it all together and basically the different takes on the same general group of people. It's just so fascinating.
Yeah, I need to watch these. I have not watched these yet, but I will say, where's my samurai stuff at, man? Like, we're getting a ton of Viking stuff here. Can I get a samurai show? Is that plausible? I mean, I feel like it would sell really well at this point.
Wasn't there something on
there's
AMC
one coming
that was like Into the Badlands or something like that?
Yeah, that's like a future. Yeah, it's not a samurai show
good,
though.
no.
It's like a post-apocalyptic modern day that the dude happens to use a katana. So that's about the comparisons to samurai. But I can't remember. I think it's FX is coming out with Shogun, which is a samurai series that's in the process of filming right now. But
dude, FX actually slams out some amazing shows.
Oh, they do. I love X. One of my favorite shows of all time was on FX, The Shield. So yeah, I'm definitely here for it. I just hope it's in English.
Like that show?
I love The Shield, dude.
It's like his favorite show ever.
Dude, I love it.
I don't think I've ever heard you mention it on here.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, yes.
I was gonna say, I feel like I mentioned it every episode, maybe.
Yeah.
Is this sarcasm?
Sarcastic.
Oh, okay. You just got such a blunt voice. I couldn't tell you were being sarcastic.
Yeah, you came in real dry on
Perfected
that
one. Yes, amazing. I mean, I'm not amazing. I was saying, yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, we do. I mean, all the it's really kind of like all the Asian history period pieces. They're all like this weird. They're either like kind of like, just History Channel kind of retelling dramatizations of it. There's no like really good like Game of Thrones level show.
Isn't. And that's what I'm hoping for Shogun, because
that's what
they're pointing it as, actually, is a Game of Thrones of Japan is how they're
perfect
spinning it. So
good.
If you want
I was hoping
Japanese
Marco
history.
Polo would be like that, for
Right.
like China and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't there.
I want to enjoy Marco Polo so much more than I
Yeah.
actually do in reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like if you want samurai stuff, you literally have to go back to the 60s and 70s when they were doing the movies. There's like nothing new in the past 20 years. It's
Listen,
ridiculous.
once Assassin's Creed does their samurai version,
No,
it'll
I
be
don't know.
everywhere. It'll be
Yeah,
split.
that's true. I hope that's true, but I have a feeling that Ghost of Tsushima might have put a wrench in Assassin's Creed ever taking on Japan.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll
so. See. Yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah,
they will though one day.
I hope so.
It's coming. Anyway, speaking of more seasons, Peaky Blinders season 6 finally gets a premiere date for this summer. The 6th and final season, another one of our final seasons of Peaky Blinders, will release June 10th on Netflix. The final season will consist of 6 episodes and will follow Tommy Shelby as he squares off with various foes. But the most formidable enemy is he himself. Tommy Shelby and his family rise to power in this post-World War I Birmingham, while he also works to take down fascist leader Oswald Mosley. I do need to dive back into this, but I'm really heavy into either rewatching Game of Thrones or The Last Kingdom right now. So jumping around the period piece dance right now.
Yeah, I need to get back to Game of Thrones. It's on the the checklist.
I just finished season 1 last night.
Finally. Yeah, you should hurry up and slam out season 1. I'm in season 2, and then we can kind of watch it with Mike. He goes for his first.
Yeah, and then we can talk about it at the end. First time viewing. Oh, I love that idea.
Nice.
Although it did take him like 6 months to finish season 1, so Show Boys 2025 Game of Thrones
scheduled.
We're good at being well behind on the content we're putting out sometimes. Uncharted 4 we just did like last week. Came out in 2016.
We're here to remind you of all that stuff.
All you guys on our back about finally covering the Batman. That's like record-setting pace for us.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Isn't it the same month?
It may be.
It's less than a month.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, even Legends Arceus was literally a month.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that makes sense. You got to give it time to play through it.
Let it fester,
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, I need to watch Peaky Blinders really bad. I just got to watch it with subtitles, which means I have to learn how to read.
Why do you have to watch it with subtitles?
The accents are very thick.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. Do I watch it? I do, just because mostly for the thick accents, but also the audio is one of those shows where like the audio gets low with like action and stuff. So it does help a lot because it is the type of show that will all of a sudden the next scene will be fast forwarded and you're like, how did we get here? And then it's like, okay, they said something like 2 scenes ago that really set it up. But you didn't.
It's funny because I always complain about, especially when Blu-rays came out, they were really bad about like the action being ridiculously loud and then any dialogue being ridiculously low. And I've just adjusted to just complaining about it when I could have just solved it with subtitles. Didn't even think about it till just now. Just could have solved all my issues. Instead, I'll just complain.
It's easier to complain.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, we have some Resident Evil news here.
Excited.
The one virus I'm looking forward to, the T virus, will be released on Netflix this July. Netflix's live-action Resident Evil series is set to premiere on July 14th and is described as, quote, year 2036, 14 years after a deadly virus caused a global apocalypse. Jade Wesker fights for survival in a world overrun by bloodthirsty, infected, and insane creatures. In this absolute carnage, Jade is haunted by her past in Raccoon City, by her father's chilling connections to the Umbrella Corporation, but mostly by what happened to her sister, Billy, end quote. The story will play out over multiple timelines and stars Lance Reddick, Ella Balinska, I don't know how you say that, and Tamara Smart. Yeah, okay. I don't know. This I got to be honest with you. I love Resident Evil. This sounds terrible. I hope it's not though. I don't want it. This is not what I want. This sounds like the movies, does it not? 14 years after, like, that's not what I want. I want the beginning.
Yeah.
I
Go
want to
watch
see the
the
outbreak.
movie.
Yeah, I know. I need
The movie
to get to that.
that was fun.
I wonder if it's going to be
another-
tied. Is it tied to it? Like, is it the same
That's a good
universe?
question. I don't know. It's a
I
great
don't know.
question.
Yeah, this just
I feel like it
sounds
would
like
have
the
to be.
later movies to me, like the post-apocalyptic crap, which
Yeah.
I'm just not here for.
But the movie though, I think it was like right on par with Uncharted in terms of like a fun video game
nice.
movie.
Nice.
Lots of throwbacks to the games. Still a video game movie, but like
Right.
not anywhere near the first Resident Evil
Right.
movie like attempts they had.
Yeah. Those were terrible. Here, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed, and I still enjoy the first Resident Evil movie. I think it did a horrible disservice to the games, but that's beside the point. Just on its own, I enjoy it, and I enjoy the second one. Outside of that, they're all terrible past that point. Just my opinion, though. You know.
Yep. Moving on here, we got some Amazon news, and I think several newscasts ago we talked about the Amazon MGM deal that was going down. Well, it is now complete. The $8.5 billion purchase, yes, that was with a B, billion. It will hyperinflate Amazon's video catalog. MGM has more than 4,000 film titles, 17,000 TV episodes, and 180 Academy Awards, with titles like James Bond, Rocky, Silence of the Lambs, and
Yikes.
later, Amazon
Yikes.
Prime Video will have a killer lineup of entertainment options.
Bezos like, if we can't build it, we'll buy it.
That's
Yep.
right.
Take the Microsoft approach.
Yeah. But hey, more stuff on Amazon. I think Amazon has a few like gems of original content on there, but they are few and far between. So getting control
Yeah,
of
they gotta
IPs
compete.
like James
Yeah.
Bond and
Right.
Tomb Raider, which I don't know what you can really do with that, but I don't know.
I mean,
It's promising.
I think Tomb Raider would be a really good series if they decided to spin any of these into a series. That would be the most logical one because the other ones are kind of old news in my book. Like, I know people still enjoy James Bond, but like, what are they like on movie 72 now? It's like, okay, like, come on, let it go. But yeah, I do think they're stepping their game up a little bit. Even though the Lord of the Rings series looks kind of terrible, we'll see when it comes out, I guess.
All right.
Might just be my
since
opinion,
since we're going there with the fantasy talk, have either of you seen Wheel of Time?
No.
I want to though,
because it was billed as a Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, like love child of a story and universe.
People need to stop with the Game of Thrones. Like,
yeah, they do. Yeah, because they're not going to match it. It's just you give it up, unless you do it in feudal Japan, then I'm all for it.
And I gotta say, like, it was average.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's
for me. Like, I typically will enjoy most everything that I watch.
Yeah, so that must
this
mean
was
it's terrible if you thought it was
just average. Like some parts were really cool. I think some of the effects were pretty cool.
It looked like Witcher, like it had like a Witcher vibe.
Yeah, there was some like real cringy, eye rolly, like teen angsty things. And if there's one thing that gets me all riled up, it's too much teen angst.
Kills the show instantly.
Yeah, I'm just becoming an old man apparently.
Yep. Yeah, I think I either meant to watch the trailer or I did watch the trailer. I don't know. It looked okay.
All right, if you're like absolutely bored and like
might be
wondering if you're gonna play through Sekiro for the 95th time, I would just be like, hey, give Wheel of Time a shot.
Yeah,
maybe don't play that game again for the 95th time.
As I'm sitting here thinking about replaying it again, so I can do an actual good walkthrough this time with good quality.
But if you have almost literally anything else you want to watch that catches your eye, watch that and not Wheel of Time.
Dang. Wow, you're really hyping this up, bro.
Yeah. Hopefully season 2 is better. Anyways, continue on, Nick.
Yeah, sure thing. More Amazon news. Amazon is in negotiations to develop a God of War series based on the ancient mythology game. If that was enough, Amazon Prime Video is working toward making a God of War series. While negotiations are ongoing, the series is being developed by Mark Fergus and Hawk Otsby of The Expanse.
What a name.
Hawk Otsby. Good for his parents. Like, really went out there on that one. And it worked out.
The
Sony
Expanse, though.
Yeah, I know. That's key right there. Sony PlayStation is also said to be involved in the project. The game franchise is fantastic, so it stands to reason the potential TV series will be a must-watch television show.
See, I feel like if anything, this could be Game of Thrones-esque. Like,
correct.
In terms of like the brutality and things of that nature.
That's the thing, is like, I get why people say like the Game of Thrones-esque, right? But they're like kind of slapping that on everything because it's unfair, because Game of Thrones kind of covered like so many buckets of
it's high fantasy.
television television, like not even high fantasy, just like of like storylines, plot lines, didn't see that comings and all that kind of stuff. And it gets tagged on everything, but really I feel like when people think of Game of Thrones, who actually watch it and actually care about Game of Thrones, they're looking for more of the like, oh, you're going to take God of War and like make it into a series? That could be crazy.
Yeah.
It's just something with like heavier impact. Like you said, Mike, like God of War is brutal, not just in like the combat and the violence, but like it's a brutal story. It's like intense. It's not anything light. It's not light content. Kind of like Dante's Inferno too. Even though that's a little narrow. I don't know. It's just, they need to be more careful with setting expectations there.
Well, I think it's an easy thing to slap on it to get people excited.
Annoying.
You know what I mean?
Like, makes me unexcited at this point.
Game of Thrones, and they're gonna be like, oh. But the problem is, I think that hurts it in the long run, because when it doesn't live up to Game of Thrones, then people look back on that comment when they first said it and are like, this is nothing like Game of Thrones. Why did you say it? So it's a double-edged blade there. I mean, I get what they're going for, but yeah, I agree with you. They should just stop.
Word. I'm excited about it though. Because if it the Expanse team, which is very cool. That was great series. But 2, if they go off of, which I believe they are, the 2018 game, that would be amazing, because I watched BioCiv stream that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he hated it for whatever reason, but
not
really sure
his
why.
Style of gameplay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you need to tell the beginning portion of the story to get to that portion, but there is like weird mythology changes there between the 2018 and the older game. So I don't know. Not the game I would pick to get a series personally, but we'll see.
Interesting. Either way, excited if it turns out like some of the other Prime gems. And we have one last little piece of Prime news for you guys. And we got another spin-off rumor mill going for The Boys. We can't get enough of The Boys, and Amazon is listening. The animated series, Diabolic, was recently released on Amazon and stands as the first spin-off of the popular series. However, more spin-offs are currently in the works. Quote, we'd been messing around with some live-action movie ideas, and then when the idea to make Diabolical came around, we were like, this is perfect. And then we kind of ripped off Baby's Day Out. We're talking about spin-offs all the time. We're working on numerous different ideas. Some will not happen, some will, but I think we got more franchising to do. We can grow like Laser Baby End quote. This is on top of the other spinoff that we've already reported on, which was, I believe, like a superhero college series, which sounded ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love The Boys, so if they can keep like harness that feel of The Boys in different stories, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like this is something they're going to be leaning on quite a bit here. So,
yeah,
hopefully they don't burn out the franchise with all these different spinoffs.
Well, they could maybe be on that track for some burnout. They actually released a season in like quarterly fashion.
Valid, yeah.
They're just creating hunger is all they're doing. So right now, like they
Right.
could announce like 15 spinoffs, and I'd be like, I don't care. Give me season 3.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Moving on. The first trailer for Outer Range is dropped. The supernatural neo-western series will star Josh Brolin as a rancher who's fighting for his land and family and ends up coming across a dark mystery at the edge of Wyoming's wilderness. The series looks to balance humor and mystery. Catch The Outer Range on Amazon Prime Video beginning April 15th. See, I feel like this could be a sleeper right here. This could be something good.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Nick. It sounds pretty
supernatural neo-western. Throw some words in there. Sounds good.
Yeah, right? Just put it all in there. Yeah, it sounds cool, man. Is there I'll have to check out the trailer for sure because it sounds really good. And I love Josh Brolin in anything that he's in.
Right.
So
yeah. So you Amazon
is
Prime.
Is this like modern times though? Because they're going western, but I mean you can tell a modern western, right?
Neo-western would be anything that's not like past western, so it could be more. I would say more modern.
So like Yellowstone, is that a neo-western technically?
Yeah, just because it's like present day. Now Neo could branch a little bit like into the future, I guess technically. Like I guess they could say like they got laser blasters or something.
I would have I would have went maybe horror and mystery and not humor and mystery. Seems like an odd choice for what they're trying to sell here, but I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? It could always be campy and then it's just like supernatural.
Yeah.
Just Josh Brolin instead of those other two. Can't forget their names. Mike knows them.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Moving on. We're going to close this newscast out with one final section. It's Jordan's favorite section of the newscast.
Welcome to Star Boys. I remembered.
I was just going to say, I'm so proud of you. Like, I don't want to ruin the flow Nick had going on there, but great job, Mike.
And I only remembered because I looked at our doc and then I heard Nick hyping it up and I was like,
oh,
man,
so
he
you
seems
didn't.
like to really be,
quick.
Crap, I gotta.
You were just quick. You didn't remember.
Yeah.
Like he's really leaning into this right now. Whatever he's setting up, he's just giving you some time there.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. We'll start this off with, a classic kind of like through the ringer rumor, right? And this is kind of like rumor past the news at this point. But the rumor was that Darth Maul was very close to appearing in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
I got to plug my ears for this.
Only to be replaced by Darth Vader. Maul was set for pre-production and may have even shot some footage prior to the change in story and casting. The scripts involving Maul were not favored by Lucasfilm, and Filoni and Favreau reshaped the show to move away from plots already covered previously around Maul and go bigger by introducing Vader in place of Maul. If this is true, and obviously they have like evidence of this, I would say that it just feels like a Luke Skywalker season 2 finale of Mandalorian kind of move. Like they could have pulled in anyone, but they could have pulled in not anyone, but they could have pulled in a non-movie character, but instead they want to go with the movie character and put Vader in there for the big bang for their buck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Darth Maul would have been cool. I'm not gonna lie, but
cool for
there
us.
is cool for us. But there is some logistical issues there because How many times can these guys fight? But you have the same logistical issue with Darth Vader, I feel. Maybe even more so with Darth Vader than you did with Maul.
You get more payout there, but I mean, I think I want them to save Maul for like his own freaking series, live action series. I'd rather them save him for that instead of like further convoluting his storyline.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. It's the classic rematch, they're setting up here, and that's what the hype they want to roll with.
Yeah, so I was talking to Jaku Jonesu on Twitter, who's that anime guy that we have on April 7th, I think, right?
Yep.
And he reminded me of Lone Wolf and Cub, which is a manga series and a series of movies. And that Baby Yoda scene from Boba Fett is ripped directly out of the manga and samurai movies. It's hilarious. In the movies, they offer him a kid either a sword or a ball. And it's literally ripped out. I never even.
That's awesome.
I love those movies. I didn't even register it until he started talking about it.
Nice. I bet the water pond training thing is too from somewhere.
Oh, for somewhere. Yeah, they even called Boba Fett a daimyo in that, so they're leaning on to the samurai stuff, which I can appreciate, obviously.
If only we had more shows to know more about samurai.
Right. Well, no, because we're gonna put out 7 Viking shows. We don't have time to tell the samurai stories.
They're so good though. But
yeah, I know, but they could be really cool in Japan too. Anyway, moving on. Star Wars content just keeps coming. It appears a new animated series is now in development. Composer Kevin Keener recently said, quote, we are working on a new project. It's an animated project. It's a Star Wars project. And that's all we can say. It's really, really freaking great, end quote. It said a full orchestra will score every episode. Clearly, this is only a rumor at the moment, albeit a pretty well-sourced rumor. So we'll have to stay tuned for further details when they're announced. Yeah, here, give me all the animated series you can, to be honest with you. Well, not all the animated series you can, because there's been some not very good Star Wars animated series, but they're mostly targeted for children, so that's probably why I don't enjoy them.
Yeah, I wonder what
this could
story
be.
They would tell.
Yeah, what could this be?
Maybe we'll get some more details soon. That'd be nice. But we got one final Star Wars rumor to round out the show tonight, and that is Damon Lindelof reportedly is developing a Star Wars movie, which would be pretty dope. So the Watchmen creator is said to be developing an upcoming Star Wars film. He's previously discussed his interest in working on a Star Wars film, stating, quote, and at some point, but certainly not in the immediate future, I feel like I would love to do something in the Star Wars universe. Maybe a decade from now when I would no longer be blamed for ruining it. That would be a hoot. The quote's only 2 years old, so we'll see, how long we have to wait. 1 for the movie, and 2 to see if he actually ruins it or not. But
yeah, that's hilarious that's a thought of people going into Star Wars like they don't want to be the one responsible for ruining it.
Right. That's it's a big responsibility you're walking into with a story.
It is, but a lot of these guys are pretty cocky, you know what I mean? So it's not, you don't see that very often. Like most people be like, yeah, I'm gonna rock it. Like Ryan Johnson. Yeah, I'm gonna make the best movie ever. Screw lightsaber fight. We don't need it.
Yeah. Who watches Star Wars?
Ooh, gotcha.
This Damon is a very creative director here, so I would be very excited for him to helm a Star Wars project. That's all we got for you guys.
Very, very balanced Star Wars segment right there. Good
perfectly
job, guys.
Balanced. It's all things should be.
Well, once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this both entertaining and informative. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe everywhere you consume our content. Please find all the places we publish our content on our link tree,
which is linktr.ee/showboyspodcast. Be sure to join our Discord server and become a member of the Showboys community to hang out with the Showboys staff and other listeners, as well as get some cool perks, such as being able to see all the articles we had to choose from for this episode of the Newscast, but weren't able to squeeze into the episode. All article links covered in this episode will be available in Discord.
If you have anything you would like us to cover in more detail or include in a future episode, please comment where available. Email us at showboyspodcast@gmail.com or join us in the Showboys Discord for all the community action.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on Thursday when we take a deep dive into the Batman. Have a great night.